What is going on? Welcome to Greggles TV. This video is all about should you upgrade if you have the Ray-Ban Meta Gen 1s and should you get the Gen 2s. Literally almost everything is the same about them, except for a couple of key differences. So you can use the same case. The cases are like literally exactly the same. They're interchangeable. The lenses are interchangeable. These are the Gen 1s that I currently have on. I use these more as a backup pair to my Gen 2s. So when my Gen 2s like need to be charged, I'll like throw these on. So I like having them as a backup, but like literally everything's interchangeable. You can use the lenses the same. You can use the cases the same. I haven't had any issues with using anything interchangeable with either one of them. It like fits to a T. It fits really, really well. Now, the purpose of this, again, if you have Gen 1s, should you get Gen 2s? Well, if you're in the other boat, let's answer that question first. If you have neither one of these, you don't have Gen 1s, you don't have Gen 2s, you're coming into this brand new, should you pay $80 more and get the Gen 2s? Definitely. You're getting better battery life and up to 3K video footage. So the battery life alone is enough reason to spend the extra bit of money. You're going from like 4 hours, if you have everything enabled, you don't have anything turned off, you're going from about 3 or 4 hours of battery life with the Gen 1s to, depending upon how you use them, 7 to 10 hours on the Gen 2s. Now, if you disable I don't even want to say, I'm going to turn these off. If you disable the Hey Meta on your glasses, especially on these, you'll get up to 6 hours, maybe a little bit more on there. But that's a nice feature to have on there so that you can always be hands-free and use the glasses. If you do that, I haven't even done it on the Gen 2s because I feel like I don't need to. They last so long. I'll get, again, anywhere from 7 to 10 hours of battery life and last me basically the whole day, and I can even throw them in the charger and less than an hour later, I can definitely finish the rest of the day with the glasses. So if you're coming in new, definitely get the Gen 2s. Now, if you have the Gen 1s, should you get the Gen 2s? Now, currently, some things that are missing, I don't have the update yet, but you might have it already. On your Gen 1s, you might already be able to do 60 frames a second video under 1080p. I can't currently, and it will come there, just isn't there yet. I can't currently do it on my Gen 2s. The other part of that is you can't live stream on your Gen 2s currently, and it might not ever come back. It's not something I was really using anyway, but you can't live stream from them. So live streaming to Facebook or Instagram used to be a thing you can do with the Gen 1s. You can't do that on the Gen 2s. Everything else is basically the same comfort, the same weight, the same quality, the same look, the same cases. The big differences on here are, and there's really only one big, and I've mentioned this in my review video, is that with the Gen 1s versus Gen 2s, you can go up to 3K video on the Gen 2s, and you can only go up to 1080p on these, but really, it's not that big a difference. And obviously, better when you're cropping in, it'll look better if you go in 3K versus 1080p, but honestly, it's not worth it. Just shoot in 1080p. It's what I switched over to on my Gen 2s. And while I have these on, these are my Gen 1s, and I'm gonna put my Gen 2s on just to show you. You're gonna be like, did you even switch your glasses? And yeah, I did. I'm gonna show you real quick. I'm gonna turn these off though. There you go. So these are my Gen 2s. Here's my Gen 1s, and they look like exactly the same. Like, it's ridiculous. You wouldn't even be able to tell. You wouldn't be able to tell. So that is one thing that is quote unquote different about these. The other thing I want to mention is obviously the battery life. Battery life is, and I've already mentioned it, is a big difference. You're definitely going to want the Gen 2s if you want all day battery life. You don't really want to worry about, or if you're sick of like, oh man, I always got to charge my Gen 1s because the battery dies, after 3 hours or 4 hours, and I want all the features enabled, definitely upgrade to the Gen 2s. It's a no-brainer. Like, the cool thing about these glasses, especially if you get the transition or a clear lens, is that you can wear them all day. You can wear them inside, you can wear them outside and still have a transition to a somewhat of a sunglass. And I love that. That's why I love having I've been using my transitions more than just the regular sunglasses even. And I wear my Gen 2s. I used to have to like have a pair for inside, a pair for outside. And then I'd have multiple pairs because the battery life was bad. And now the Gen 2s kind of suffice me having to need multiple pairs because of battery life. And then I use the transition lenses, so it gives me a little bit of sunglass support when I go outside, and it's great indoors, and that's why I choose them. The other thing you have to remember, and a lot of people probably aren't mentioning this, is how much longer are the Gen 1s gonna get software support? How many more updates are they going to get? Maybe they'll get updates for years and years to come, who knows? But they might not. They might start to not get features that these get that the Gen 1s don't get. So Gen 2s might start to get updates that, you know, the Gen 1s just don't get. That would be a major thing on here. So you gotta think about future updates. Obviously the Gen 2s are gonna be supported longer. Also, you get up to 3K video. Also, you get much better battery life. And that's the real biggest reason to switch over to the Gen 2s. I feel like that reason, and also software support's probably gonna last longer. Even if it's only a year longer, that's still another year of updates to get. So yes, I think it's a worthy reason, and you should definitely upgrade from the Gen 1s to the Gen 2s. And if you upgrade and you like this video, give it a like. And also I have a link down below that will give you deals at either Meta or Best Buy or even Amazon. So you can pick them up either one of those stores, and it supports what I do. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, leave them down below. We'll see you guys down the road. Peace.